Welcome back to the most professional StarCraft 2 there is. The Dreamhack Masters Summer Finals. A reigning champion and a 5-time GSL champion. First, let me introduce, for the rest of the world, the Italian Stallion. With more APM than the Bronze League combined and then some. The fastest player in the world and currently the best. It is Reynor. And it's a little weird to say. He takes a different road, winning GSL many times over. And, of course, beating your favorite players with barracks wherever he wants them, however he wants them. Playing professional StarCraft 2. Since 2010, at the age of 13, qualifying for the GSL, and currently still fighting for the very top. The man, the myth, the Maru. I mean, after 3 weeks of effort. Let me get this out of the way. The intro was already 2 minutes, but like and subscribe if you enjoy my casting, or at least my intros. I'd like to get that out of the way, because I don't think I'll have another opportunity to sell out. Because neither of these players plays slow. Neither of them plays passive. Both of them are known, and yes, I'm pointedly ignoring what's on the screen so I can get this part out. Both of them are known for constant and varied aggression, but not being limited to it. We could see late game. We'll definitely see early game. All unit compositions are on the table, and all builds are a possibility. Speaking of, Reynor opens up with a pool first. Maru builds on the low ground with a later SCV scout, not quite seeing this. Gonna be able to delay. Wait, the Zergling got distracted. The rest of the Zerglings get into the main, but actually not even gonna kill an SCV. So Maru, it feels like almost intentionally letting the Lings in here. He does... Oh, Zergling gets one kill. One kill is the total. So with the SCV scout, and it's not like that's a huge commitment out of Reynor. It's just slow Lings slipping by the Reaper. But playing off the fact that Maru does like to cut corners. He will just go straight. Like, that's how Rogue just roached over him in the GSL finals recently. Is Maru just kind of refused to do some of the basic safe things that you should do. I mean, just watch Cure. But, like, building a Banshee early on. And a lot of the time, Maru will not SCV scout. And if you don't SCV scout and your opponent happens to go pool first, then you can find yourself in an awkward spot. But Maru, oh my god. So that's how it's gonna be. I think that Overlord was at 1 HP. So perfectly count. Wow. Oh, no. I will find you. And I will kill you. Well.
Denied.
The barracks make sure that Overlord goes down. No Overlord left alive. It does look like Maru's going to come back, slap a tech lab on it. He's got Cloak Banshee on the way. I think he's learned from some of his past mistakes. Reynor, obviously more of a Ling-based player. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Roach builds, but I don't think that's really his comfort zone. In fact, like, I think while we're going to see a lot of early game pressure and aggression and some sort of timing, it's mostly going to even out. Like, I doubt we'll see any game just end outright with any sort of early attack. These players are literally just too good. I'm willing to eat my words, but I've already eaten a lot today. So... Banshee on the way, 3rd CC. Maru with not a particularly greedy opener. He does complete the cloak on the Banshee, so it is the intent to get some form of damage done, but Reynor, a pillar of the hashtag Yas Queens movement, understanding that queens are indeed the best early, mid, and late game unit for Zerg, much to the dismay of Terrans and, to an extent, Protoss. Actually, you know what? Nowadays, more Protoss, because the queens are starting to take the fight to them. You don't see too many queen pushes against Terran, though it's not completely out of the question. Aspire. Mutas, the choice, it seems, for Reynor, and not that surprising. Opening up here, as there hasn't been any real... He's already seen the third. You know, the Banshee's getting a couple queens is making things difficult. Reynor doesn't want to move his queens away from the third, because that's where the Hellions are threatening currently. So, while not getting drones, just killing... Oh, what? Well, speaking... Like, okay, what am I watching? So, the queens got out of position. Randa! What are you doing? No! Avenge me! So that was a weird exchange. The queens got out of position, and Maru's like, no, come back here. We're fighting. Another 2 queens killed. Maru not willing to let him build up here. He's killed 4 left over. Despite all this, so, yes, he's killed queens. And yes... That isn't fun for Reynor. It's like he would rather have it. But he does have 67 drones. He got a Spire before Evolution Chambers. Look at the upgrade timing. Oh my. Maru finishing 1-1 almost as Reynor starts it. Well, Reynor hasn't even started it yet. He went straight for the Mutalisks, which is a bit of a Muta risk. But if you don't get damage done early with the Mutas, you're probably not going to get much damage at all. As the first wave, the element of surprise is probably the most impactful. And Maru not reacting, his tank going down. A small clutch of Zerglings. Cutting off some of the reinforcements, but this means Maru now going to press the attack. Combat shields is a little far off with Baneling speed finishing. Those Marines are quite vulnerable. The Muta's taking the wrong direction there. Most of them, well, they're all going to make it for now. One Muta badly bruised. 100 gas apiece. You don't really want to be bleeding those out. A whole medevac apiece. Just seems so much easier to lose. Maru stepping out, looking for an opportunity. The Mutas find an option. As Reynor starts to spiral upwards, both these players, well, 400 APM and rising as we get into the mid-game. Good counter to the SCV! I'm not sure if Maru was looking, but he's looking now. Or is he? He's actually fighting in the middle of the map, not paying attention to the Zerglings on the other side. Uncharacteristic mistake, and suddenly, once again, as Reynor does so well, somehow Maru's huge upgrade advantage, his solid push timing, has been dismantled by a few little Zergy boys. And suddenly Zerglings in the main, in the natural, they're not killing that many SCVs, but Maru has lost all the initiative. He's lost all the map control. Reynor has a 4th and a 5th on the way, nearly completed. He's not going to be able to end it now, but now the Mutas are swinging into the main. There's a single turret, but the add-ons are vulnerable. Drilling Claws starts. This isn't Cure. Once again, Maru got to take some notes. From, like, a Cure might be half your APM, but he would have had a dozen Widow Mines by now, and that would have been a real threat. Maru has 0 Widow Mines, which means Drilling Claws is more of like a matter of principle than a practical upgrade. Maru losing a lot of map control there, only starting +1 armor. Honestly, he's just making mistakes here. Missing out on the +2 attack, +2 armor. He's missing out on the +2 attack upgrade. Banelings! Once again, why is the depot even there? Explain to me. If the Banelings are gonna keep rolling in, how did the Banelings, did they really just roll in an open depot where the Zerglings came in earlier? Another 11 SCVs. Rainer's at 96 drones. Is that the right? Oh my god. Okay. Well, If Reynor doesn't have a personal keyboard sponsor, then it's probably because he keeps breaking them. 1,000 APM, give or take. Give, maybe. Oh my. And rising as another wave comes across the map. +2 attack just now started for both sides. Maru losing that advantage. Muta's trying to come into the main, getting bitten off by a couple. Big wave into the natural. Third base. Banelings crashing through both flanks right now. 21 SCVs falling and counting. More mains. Marines down. The reinforcements will fall back. Mutas will eat a mine hit. But behind this, nothing stopping Reynor from going another round. Muta's picking off Widow Mines. Is there a hive on the way? There's no infestation pit yet. Reynor currently has over 3,000 more income. Mules might be able to level that out a bit. But ever since Maru had to come back for the Zergling counterattacks, he gave up the map and Reynor just took it. Creep all over the place. Baneling Mines. And Reynor might be the one with enough APM to actually make it work. Widow Mine cleans up a small counterattack, but that's not... Oh my. Playing with fire with those mines, but he's literally the best at it. At least at dealing with them. Overlord speed is done. It's probably been done for a while to be able to keep up with the Mutas and the Zerglings. Mutas into the main. A single turret. There is +1 attack, making it a lot easier to take down things like turrets. Banelings crashing through into the fourth. Reynor's maxed out with money in the bank and a hive in production. Another group. Mutas on the turret. Every single SCV gonna get called in to repair. Every single SCV is not enough. Reynor crashing through. A Thor evacuated. Widow Mine eliminated. Oh my god, Microbe perfectly against another mine. Coming in from the side. Here comes Reynor again, looking for more. 600 APM and rising. More Widow Mines dotting the field. And Maru, despite all of this, is still at 160 supply. It seems like all Reynor all the time, but Maru, his army supply is now larger than Reynor's. In fact, Reynor with 95 drones can only make 105 army supply. Maru's at 106. So it's not over yet. Maru has +3 upgrades on the way. He's held. He's bent. But he has yet to break. Reynor doesn't have that hive tech kicking in quite yet. He didn't get the adrenal glands at all. That's just a mistake, in my opinion. That Zergling attack speed upgrade could be incredibly useful. The turret's 3 seconds from done. Might as well be 3 hours. 9 more SCVs gonna go down. He's trying to catch Maru looking the other way. The planetary itself is vulnerable. Another dozen SCVs going down. The Thor targeted. Maru snaps it up. Just, are we gonna see 700? Oh my. As Maru finishes +3 armor and closes on +3 weapons, this is going to be the best chance he has. The highest army supply advantage he'll get. Because from here, Hive Tech will start kicking in. +3. Ultralists are a good option when you have 95 drones and your economy has been untouched. Reynor is running the field right now. But one particularly bad fight, and Maru might be able to maintain a critical mass of units. There were burrowed banelings at some point. Another huge group of units. Oh, the Thor couldn't even drop before it gets picked off in the medevac. The planetary itself, no building armor. There's not enough banelings to actually crash through. Reynor, not the most cost-effective fight, but guess what? On the other side, another group of Lings and Banes. 7 SCVs died in that exchange. Maru down to 160 supply. Magic boxing onto the Thor, minimizing the splash damage. The Liberator trying to get involved. SCVs transferring the Trail of Tears. And the Mutas are just dragging Maru back over and over and over again. He's got +2 attack. Maru's down to 46. He's got to do something. Unfortunately, by the time he decides to move out, chitinous plating, adrenal glands, +3, +3. Reynor will have everything he can get with plenty of time to engage this army. Reynor will likely lose one base here, but going up that ramp is going to be quite an effort for Maru. There's almost no Marines in here, just Marauders, Thors, couple Liberators. And the Marauders are the ideal choice. Chitinous plating is done, and Reynor has far too much. 88 Zerglings in the production tab where we left it. 653 average actions per minute. And it just kept going up. Maru, he left the door open a couple times. And he never went outside again. Not until the final push. So what that means is now that was a pretty dominant performance. Reynor working every angle. And then some. Like, I don't know why the Zerglings kept getting in. It seems like, just shut the door, Maru. Well, when your opponent is counterattacking and attacking half a dozen places at once, which door, I ask you? So, game 1 goes to the terrifying Italian, who, and of course, leave a comment and correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember an interview of like, why did you name yourself Reynor, but you didn't spell it like Reynor, like the campaign character? And it's because he spelled it wrong. And didn't know exactly how to spell it. So here we are. And then he played Zerg, which made it even more confusing. And another fun fact, Reynor's brother. Yes, he has a younger brother. So if you thought you were inadequate because this 18-year-old is making you look like a relic, Reynor's younger brother, who goes by Baby Marine, which is at least more accurate. He does play Terran. Just got picked up by the illustrious Team Roddy. He's a European Grandmaster Terran, so like, watch out. Maybe at some point, Reynor will get old and washed up at 20. Like Cyril. Alright, Cyril now deep into his 20s at like 21. Well, Cyril's not in the finals. That's all I have to say about that. Like, isn't Maru 23? Like, either way, you're just still making me feel old. Shut up. Alright, it's not about... It's about how many actions you have, which also seems to be somewhat related. But don't worry about it. I'm pretty sure there's a Counter-Strike player named Kerrigan, but it's definitely not spelled correctly either. Just side note. I might be remembering that incorrectly. I'm just saying things, but just put that one out there. Unrelated. Maru not breaking out, like... It's hard to judge that game. Like, I don't want to say... No, you know what? I can't. Reynor got an advantage, or at least he got an angle, and he just worked it. I don't think Maru did anything wrong besides letting Zerglings in a couple times. Which sounds like a lot, but really, like, losing the Reaper. He got a creep tumor, but at what cost? but it just seemed like there were no... Like, he can't send a drop out. He has a couple dozen mutas. And you can't really move out because he'll smash your base with banelings as soon as you step outside. Maru was trying to max out and get that death ball push, or at least as close as you can get to it. Just never came together. I like what Reynor's done. Reynor's gone for Overlord speed. You don't want to let anything up to chance. You got a 1-game lead on probably the craftiest Terran in StarCraft 2 history. Don't... Oh my god, okay. So, it's a Hellbat push. And if you've ever watched me, you know my feelings on Hellbat pushes. But, he's adding in Marauders. So it's like a knee-breaker Hellbat. I just straight up Hellbat pushes, like, every Terran has to, several times a month, fulfill their quota of losing games going Hellbat openers. It just doesn't, like, they're building queens. Everybody builds queens. That's just how it works. They gotta... But the Marauders, they were scouted by an Ovi. Important, very important to note. Having a Marauder at all at this stage of the game is a giveaway. And I'm pretty sure Reynor knows exactly what's happening. He's already got a Spine Crawler. He's pumping the queens out. Looks like he's feeling pretty confident in this scenario. It's only 3 Marauders, but like even 1 tap is enough. Ladies! Alright. My knees! Why do we even have knees? Don't talk about that, Susan. So, Marauders not gonna make the cut. Maru just kind of decides that's not happening. So that, I mean, that did about it. At least he didn't lose all the Hellions. That's about as much damage as we've seen Hellbats do in the recent past. Which is, at least he didn't lose them. So, I'm not sure, like, he knew that Reynor went Overlord speed as well. Before he decided on this build, he saw the Overlord speed. He did make a Viking first to try to deny the scout, but that's already suspicious. Like, when you go Viking first, it's not like a standard build for Maru. Usually you'd expect to see, especially a Viking first against Overlord speed. That feels like a sneaky choice. Like I said, crafty Terran. So, I do think this ends up where I expected many of the games to go, which is both players kind of try their hand at an opener. Last game it was Reynor's pull first, this game it was Marauder Hellbat, and then we kind of settle back into a more standard looking match. In this case, it's going to be a little different. Reynor's opting for the Roaches. He's already got 1-1 on the way, about equal timing to Maru's 1-1. Oh, the medevac gets picked off. The queens are... So this is kind of an awkward place. Yeah, the queens are more than enough. So... Yeah, that didn't go great. The Hellbats, slower than queens, less range, less HP, can't heal. Like, what can they do? Buff Terran, remove Hellbats. That's my crusade. That is how I would buff Terran. Roach Ravager is an interesting choice. I don't... If Maru sees it in time, and how much has Maru seen? He's gonna see this hatch. Reynor's gonna have to show it if he wants to save the hatch. Yeah. Here we are. Transfuses may be on the hatch, not gonna bother. He doesn't want to show it until he has to. Yeah, he's just going across the map. He's gonna rely on the queens to defend a tank and 2 medevacs. And the queens will win this battle, because queens are amazing. Meanwhile, the armies trying to join together. Some of the queens getting caught. The tank fighting queens. Classic mistake. Queens easily win that one as well. Roaches into the natural, and this is where things get extra dicey. The tank will siege. Reinforcements. Branda! Vengeance. We've tasted blood and now we want more. Maru's reinforcements are coming in to clean up some of the roaches. A lot of SCVs have been lost, though. The queens have killed all these stragglers. Another round of roaches coming in. This has done everything it set out to do, I think. It's traded some army, it's killed some tanks, it's killed a lot of SCVs. Reynor doesn't have 2-2 started. He's still holding down that R key. The medevacs are out of energy, which is rarely a big concern, but here we go. And speaking of queen pushes, I don't care if it's a Protoss. All enemies are valid. And the queen's getting in on the action. The creep is most of the way across. I mean, why not? We're here. They did so well before. This does seem like an awkward angle to attack him, but there's just so much Zerg. The queens can help keep some of those frontline roaches intact. One tank firing from inside the natural, but the base will be forced to lift. Oh my god, the game has been recovered. Well, but will Maru recover? That is the question. It's looking like probably not. Maru with a desperation drop, more medevacs than units here. Oh, a lot of this many medevacs means units are hard to kill. Reynor gonna try to go up the ramp. I mean, he's one or two good corrosive biles away from GG here. Maru's gonna work this drop for all he's got. And Reynor doesn't have that many. Like, if it wasn't Reynor, there's a handful of Zergs that I think are super confident closing it out. Reynor's on the short list. But Maru has pulled miracles before. But this would be quite a miracle. He's gonna have 2-2 bio. Against 2-2's a long way off for Reynor. He should be Eddie on the infestate. Oh, there, it's already there. Probably Hive immediately for Vipers. Or maybe if he's feeling spicy, throw some infestors in there. You don't really see those very often. Like some variety. Hive it is. Drops. Triple drop, quadruple drop. Gonna try to work those more cost-effective and more mobile bio units. And Maru, somehow, as he always does, has a lot more supply than you'd think. But another round, corrosive biles actually finding the mark, but the bio units are tearing through the Roach Ravager. The queens are having a tough time, though surprisingly turns away from that fight. Will potentially get the hatchery and knock Reynor back to 3 bases. So, it's Maru's making moves here. He's got options. There's almost nothing to protect the main. The Hive is potentially vulnerable. The Hive, probably the most valuable building here. Vipers are going to be required to break any sort of siege position. Oh my god, the Roach Ravager trickling in. Maru trying to get out with as much as he can. There's not enough on Maru's side of the map to actually fight right now, though getting any tanks is great. Killing tanks is #1 priority. +3 ranged attack, and where are my Vipers? Thank you, Reynor. The Vipers are what ruined this storybook comeback. Thing is, Maru's pushing. I mean, if Reynor takes a fight before the Vipers have energy, there's a dream. That is a lot of medevacs. 12 medevacs here. The Liberators make things very difficult as well. A not insignificant Roach counterattack. A sizable, a hefty Roach counterattack, if you would. Gonna help cut off reinforcements. Where are the Vipers in the main fight? Maru in a bit of an awkward angle, but working the concave. He has tanks and liberators to do it with. Unfortunately, has nothing at home as he had to commit it all to the push. Maru, you can't go back. There's no home to go back to. Unfortunately, prime opportunity for Blinding Cloud, but the Viper gunned out of the sky. Some corrosive biles. He goes for the hatch, yanks a tank, but no Blinding Cloud option. Unfortunately, Reynor still ripping through, and Maru is bleeding out. He's taking great fights, but he's definitely losing the war. The third is forced to lift yet again. The bio army reduced to just the bio army. Trying to stim and intercept the roaches before the rest of the roaches show up to the party, and they will succeed. So isolating and killing a group of roaches is good. Especially if Reynor couldn't just build the same amount more. Maru is trying to get away, but Reynor's chokehold is tightening. And there just is not enough for Maru to go around once again. Even the orbital's burning. He cannot afford +3/+3. The Viper's fully consumed an extractor, which is a little awkward. At least it wasn't a hatchery. The army supply is still large enough. Okay, that's too many Vipers. Parasitic Bomb, Blinding Cloud, Wombo, combo. GG. Another solid performance out of Reynor. Another game where Reynor gets any sort of advantage. You know what? I'm done with the Hellbats. Okay? I don't get it. Why? In 2021, how many times? How many do we need to go Hellbats to prove, like, it is not the way. Like, when you see a Hellbat build, what you should do is turn around and go the other direction. Alright? Like, it wasn't like it was terrible. It just allowed Reynor, like, because Reynor felt no pressure. He just built queens. He built one spine. That was the respect he gave. He gave it one spine of respect. That's it. And then he just built queens, which he was going to build anyway. And it killed nothing. And it cost him a lot. Like, he had to build an armory early. You got to build, like, you've got those marauders with concussive, which costs some of your gas as well. It slows down your upgrades and stuff like that. What are you doing? Now, when we go into this next game 3, place your bets. I want you mentally, after you like and pause the video, like, subscribe, ring the bell, comment. What do you think? Will we be going into the Jimmy? Be ready. Will there be SCVs across the map? It's game 3, Maru down 0-2. That's always the gamble with Maru. The answer? No. Interesting. Maru gonna build his barracks in his main. A bold choice. Reynor looking very good. Like, I don't think Maru is making poor tactical decisions. It seems like the strategic decisions. As in, not so much like how he takes fights, because Maru is very good at actually fighting, but like, why and when is the struggle here. Game 1, Maru couldn't force the issue in time. He couldn't get himself in a position where Reynor would have to fight. Because Reynor kept slipping in the back, well, in the front door, but surprisingly many doors for Reynor. It's very surprising. This game, Maru, no SCV scout. He's scouting specifically here with the Reaper for a pull first, looking for Zerglings, trying to slip by. He's trying to get every last tasty mineral in his build. And Reynor not punishing him for it. He's just got a casual, a quick 3-hatch. A delayed gas for a quick 3-hatch. And then, I'd imagine, Oh, he goes Overlord speed. I like it. He knows what he's facing. He's going Overlord speed before he's going for Zergling speed, which, if you're relatively confident in the mid-game, all you need to do is get to the mid-game, right? Like, you just need to survive to the mid-game and then outmaneuver. And that is what Reynor has been doing. The Overlord speed paid off last game. He was able to completely shut down that early Marauder Hellbat. And once again, he's just gonna... It's a little bit more expensive. It takes a little more APM, but it's essentially map hacks here for Reynor. Maru's hand is fully revealed. Hellions will... I wonder if we'll see Maru just run. Does he just go? Oh my god. Maru, after this calm and collected and calculated series, Maru just goes. He just goes. I don't know what he saw. He might have realized with the Overlord speed first that there wouldn't be speedlings, but he's just in there. And now Reynor is in a panic. His build is literally, not figuratively, on fire. So, 6 drone kills is definitely not ideal for Reynor. It was not as bad as I thought it would be initially. But Maru just sent it. Which is uncharacteristic for top tier Terrans. Like, even if you think you have an opportunity, usually players will prefer to just have Hellions alive. The threat of Hellions being more significant than sacrificing them for some kills. Because now that those Hellions are gone, there's nothing stopping the creep. The Banshees aren't really going to be the great option there. Even with Cloak right now. There's nothing stopping the creep spread. There's no reason Reynor has to build anything but drones out of the hatcheries. Oh, and queens, of course. So, for several minutes now, there will be no way for Maru to really have any map control. Was it worth forcing a few lings and killing 6 drones? It feels a little low. Like 10 would have been a nice number. That would have been enough to cut into several larva injects. 6 just doesn't seem like it got the return on investment. Is he gonna do a ling drop? Is he gonna do a Bane drop? Reynor's been doing this. I like it. There's a lot of things that Reynor does that I like, but like particularly, he has Overlord speed. He uses this is kind of an earlier legacy of the Void style, where a lot of players would get that Overlord speed and then just... Well, this was also when you didn't need a lair. You only needed an evolution chamber to make a dropper lord. So that was a... You could kind of Bane drop like 4 minutes in, which in hindsight was maybe a little quick, but either way, still fun. Yeah, those are going to be Banelings, right? Exciting, though. Reynor find a new... Well, not really new, but bringing back old uses of Overlords and Overlord speed as it gets faster and faster. Alright. And there's no... Like you're not expecting this. He went quick 3 hatch. You're not worried about Nidus. You're not worried about Mudas. You should probably be worried. Maru! Oh no! Ah!
Forces are under attack.
We got a taste of the Maru cam there. I had to see what the reaction was. And the first time he saw it was when the adjutant informed him, your base is under attack, which is when it's definitely too late. 11 SCVs. He returns the favor. And Reynor takes a solid economic lead. But, Reynor, where are your upgrades? He didn't even go for Mutas. Where are the upgrades? He's not building 1-1. He has the minerals and the gas. Oh, that's just a mistake. That is a huge mistake. Oh, he's building mutas now, but like... Oh, that is so slow. That's a huge advantage. And Maru just walks up like... Maru's 1-1 is done. Yeah, Reynor over here. And this is part of the reason why you don't see these kind of strats. Because even players like Reynor get distracted. Like, they're like, I'm gonna do a Bane drop. It's gonna be sick. Oh, does he have 1-1 and I haven't started my 1-1? Yes, that's a problem. Like, the Lings do come in and clean up what the Banelings started. Getting a few more SCVs. The upgrade disadvantage. Now, Maru did have an armory done here, which he might be reminded of by Reynor, who's gonna try to do a slick getaway. 4 mutas coming in. I don't know how he finds these opportunities, but those are completely undefended. The Lings drag the Marines back to the main, which left the 3rd undefended as Maru moved out to counterattack. So the only issue here for Reynor is he can't fight the army. Oh, thank you for punctuating that. Like, with no creep here, with multiple tanks, Banshees, the muta count isn't nearly high enough. And most of them are on the other side. Reynor just loses another base. Until he gets 1-1, he needs overwhelming forces. He's killing SCVs, but... I mean, a very awkward situation here. But Reynor getting a little ahead of himself, I think, on the Bane speed and the Bane drops and all the fanciness. Maru going for... He's focused on his build. His build is a solid, sharp, powerful Marine tank timing, followed up by more powerful Marine tank timings. And here we have Reynor, even on workers, despite killing 16 more. The upgrades are even now. He's gonna pick up. The mutas will force the issue. Beautifully done by Maru, by the way. He split off only the medevacs with no units, and he did it so smoothly, Reynor was convinced. Oh, the literal bait and switch. That was so smooth. And that means he maintains most of his Marines from that attack. And now with 2-2 closing in, just the pre-split, I can't believe it's not butter. Muta's heading out across. Reynor trying to scramble something together. He's down 30 supply. Not a good sign in this scenario. Burrow is finishing. A desperation move. Only +2 carapace just started. 2-2's done. Maru's gonna press the issue. Looking like a desperate Bane mine might stall things out. But Maru is not clumping his Marine. He's got hit squads throughout the map. But just the cost efficiency, like, all the Banelings are gone. And believe it or not, when Banelings attack, they die. It's a very sad story. Another base gone. 2 bases down. Another attack, but this time Maru is gonna try to fight. That was not ideal. A little bit awkward. Thought he could maybe target. Oh no, the mutas. Marines get underneath him. 1, 2, 3. At least, maybe 4 down there. He's lost 10 throughout this. Reynor still scrambling something together, trying to keep Maru off balance, but the creep is back to his 3rd. What is now his 3rd was once optimistically his 4th, and now has to be his 3rd. Thor's walking up to the field, making it so mutas can't give him the runaround much anymore. Marines stepping forward. And with it, the hatchery is vulnerable. The drones... Zergling counterattack cleaned up. Maru on the board. He's not giving this up so easy. That's not how Maru do. A clean game out of Maru. At no point did he look particularly vulnerable. At no point did he look flustered. His build, upgrades on point. Stim and combat shields on point. Tank positioning on point. Medevac micro On point. Reynor just... I think Reynor did what a lot of people will do when they get ahead. You've probably done it in your own games, maybe series, but in this case, a series. He's like, failing droughts. Reynor, how about upgrades? How about we do upgrades? Well, here we are. Not having 1-1 was just... You can't take a fight. You can't fight. Even supply against upgraded marine tank, like with tanks on the high... No. Reynor knew that. That's why he just gave up his base instead of fighting. I think we bring it back here. Blackburn and exciting... Ooh, a pool first on Blackburn. What is different about this? I don't know. Like, how does it play out? So, if the Reaper comes across directly, and a lot of the times the Reapers will just run across, assuming there's no SCV scout. By the way, no proxy racks yet at all. Couple pool first now. And decides to try to just jump in the quickest method. Then what will happen is the Lings will easily be able to counterattack. Like Maru builds the CC on the low ground, like he's going to. Reaper takes the shortest path. That's still to be seen. Oh. Yeah. He does have to go through the center. This, like, it all comes down to whether he sees the Lings. It actually looks like Reynor's going to be using this more as... He's only building 2 Lings. Okay. Never mind. I take it back. He takes a third instead of adding more Lings. He's not going to rely on the counterattack potential. I guess this is more of a don't proxy racks me, bro, build, as opposed to a delaying the command center build. They can be both off the same start. But these guys are so good. Every time I watch players like Maru and Reynor, there's only a handful of players that I watch and I'm like, you know what? I learned something here today. Thank you, Cure. Like, or I unlearned something here today. Thank you, Has. Like, but you watch like Maru, Reynor, Clem, and a lot, like Trapped, Zest. Game is hard. Impressive, holds up, but game is hard. But if you like me talking about it as I smoothly make my transition into commentaries, and by smoothly, I mean as for several years now, like and subscribe. We're going for 200,000 YouTube subscribers by the end of 2021. Why? Because that's more than I have now, and it is a round number. You can make the difference today. You know the friends you probably have if you don't play StarCraft, but you like watching? Hey, maybe this series is the one. Why is he on the screen? He's taking up valuable space, so we can't see the add-on on the starport. Where will he build his control tower? Oh. Greg, how many times? Oh my god. Speaking of control towers. Fusion core! Maru, give it to me. A battle cruiser. So once, completely unheard of. Battle cruisers, they struggled with even shooting and moving at the same time. Then they got a buff. They can teleport. Energy bar removed, so they just have cooldowns, which is a buff, by the way. And could shoot while moving. Very important. And then they became essentially the only build, which gave rise to the King of Queens era, where Queens became not only the best, but possibly the only defense against battle cruisers for a long time. And then the battle cruiser got nerfed somewhat, and is no longer a super common option, partially because people got very good at defending it, and partially because it's just so expensive, you need to get a lot done to justify it. Oh my god, not just a battle cruiser, but mech! Maru! And also killing drones. He's building double armory, double factory behind a battle cruiser. Speaking of, but Reynor figured this out. Wait, Reynor knew. In some fashion, Reynor knew. More drones targeted, as killing the queens is usually not a huge part of this. It's a flying laser bathtub, okay? It doesn't die easily, but also it doesn't kill super quick. It's just its existence. This thing that costs as much. He's just going BCs. Like, it's not a BC opener. It's a battle cruiser build. Maru, you crafty Starcrafter. Just straight up battle cruisers. But he is upgrading mech weapons and armor. Like this is probably either there's one or there's three. I'm predicting 3 battle cruisers is the number. Which is enough that queens are done. Like, you can't, queens no longer count on them. You require corruptors, not mutas. Because the base armor on battle cruisers is too good. Oh my god. Perfect scan. Magnifique. He sees Baneling speed upgrading. He sees the Spire 80% done. And like, what? Like, you're not going to cancel the Spire. You have to have the Spire. Right now, Reynor is just kind of he's getting tech bullied. We're witnessing a cybercrime right now. Where Maru is already, he's uncovered all the secrets of Reynor's base, and also he keeps hitting Reynor with exactly what he's not quite prepared. The awkward part is that Reynor is preparing for, like, he's ready for 1 battle cruiser, and then maybe some mech. He's not ready for multiple battle cruisers. He's building mutas. But 2 battle cruisers show up, and while for now, like, fire the cannons. Goodbye, Lucille. Wait, what? No. Oh, he has tactical jump. He gets out of there. Easy peasy. Muta's on the way across. He's still building them. If you get a critical mass, maybe. Maru, you gotta jump that cruiser. Jumps one out. Other one gonna stick around. Yamato knocks a Muta out of the sky. A line of turrets the TPM will raise, and for good reason. Another battlecruiser jumps away back to the shipyards where the SCVs, which also have access to a gold base, might I add. Reynor, yes, he has a gold base too. But he's building mutas. And like... Now he's committed. Here we are. Now he's going mutas. He's got 1,500 gas in these mutas. It's happening. Oh, the repair. Oh no, the turrets are racking up muta kills. Thors are on the way. Widow mines being built. Reynor, in typical Reynor fashion, is gonna try to fit a ling-sized peg in any hole. Which, I mean, if you're into that, like and subscribe, but lings and lisks against a well set up, well provisioned, well upgraded mechanized force. If Maru didn't have the gold and upgrade, like, Reynor's gonna go. Oh my god, so many Lings are gonna die this game. Or it's just gonna end with things like that. Oh my god. Kier would be proud. 10 drones die and 10 Lings simultaneously. The mutas were buffed by multiple turrets. I'd love to see, unironically, high-sec auto-tracking. Oh no, the Blue Flame Hellions! Oh, I thought that was Amazon Prime to subscribe for free in those trucks, but no, it was Blue Flame Hellions. Oh, not again! They fooled me! The battlecruisers, almost as an afterthought, eliminate another hatch. Reynor's at 105 drones. He's lost 25. The thing is, like, Maru is working on 2-2. Maru's gonna have better mech upgrades with a comfortable amount of bases. Reynor doesn't even have a hive started. Like, without Vipers, it's bad news bears. I don't know if they're good news bears, but it's definitely not that. Why is it always bad news for the bears? That doesn't seem very fair. Meanwhile, one battlecruiser gets out. The rest are going to fight the mutas, take out a couple, and jump away with plenty of time to spare. The armor is ridiculous. They're out of there. Maru's done microing this. 2-2 finishing. Banelings rolling. Like, how many Banelings does it take to kill a Thor? The answer? Too many. Nasty. Thor's pounding through the queens. The damage just ripping through the base armor they have. The he's got 104 drones and 21 mutalisks. Kid's got flair, all right? But are there any Widow Mines here? I don't think Reynor gave it a double check, but there's battlecruisers. And then also, like, the Thors just, you can't fight them. It only takes 2 hits from those splash cannons, the javelin missiles in the splash damage mode. There's no armor upgrades. 2 hits, the mutas are going to be gone. Like, they just evaporate. The Lings are helping a bit. It's a perfect magic box out of Reynor, but it's not nearly enough. 10 more mutas. Like, he has no other answers. There's nothing. There's no roach for him. There's no hydra. Is there a hydrodon? There's an infestation pit now, but like neural parasite, because, you know, in my opinion, the best counter to Thors is Thors. So if you can't beat them, hire them. That might be, I think we're almost past that point, because Maru's just pushing. He's at 200 supply, he's banking money, he's got plenty. Yamato volley across the board. Another Thor, more damage coming out. Maru can just jump away. Doesn't even lose a battlecruiser. Loses the tactical jump cooldown of one battlecruiser. Hellbat's finding actual value now that they have Blue Flame and upgrades. Still would have rather been Widow Mines. Smart servos on the way. 4 Thors at a time. He's not stopping us. McDonald's is coming to a backyard near you. Reynor finding that out. Like, the mutas are, like, mutas versus Thor. What is the unit lost? Reynor has lost 10,000 more minerals and 3,000. He's lost over double both minerals and gas. This is untenable. There is no scenario where this is a winning strategy. Like, there can be strategies where you lose, like, 50% more. Like, mass roach against tanks kind of stuff. This is not that scenario. Building more mutas and Lings is not that scenario. This is suicide. But maybe if it's 40 mutas. He doesn't have as many drones now, so. Maru's still indignantly not getting... Oh my god, it gets out. He loses nothing. Maru lost... Ah! The range. Maru lost a turret. That's what Maru lost in that fight. Reynor lost half a dozen mutas, if not more. I don't know, like... Let's do the math on that one. Okay, Reynor.
The numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you.
Feels like Maru, for some reason, like, he didn't actually get across the map. Oh. The battlecruisers jump in to defend. Oh my god, +3 armor. The SCVs underneath. No, my... Oh. 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 Zerg, look... Oh my god. Viewer discretion is advised. Oh no. Maru lost 1 battle cruiser. Reynor lost 87 mutas. And 12 Thors, okay, like... Well, yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. That's a no. It's gonna be a no from me. Jimmy! Alright, it's all tied up. That was, I mean, what can you do? Well, I think Neural Parasite would, if I had to choose. But... I'm sorry, what? Best of... Yes. Okay. A quick advertisement, and we'll be right back. Thank you for watching. And I hope you enjoy. Hey everybody! I'm Winter, and I'm here to tell you this isn't the only video on this channel. There's also several thousand more that you can check out every day, or like all at once, like, because that's how videos work. Isn't the internet great? So, on Monday, and now this is may or may not be accurate, but the general idea is every Monday you get me showing you why I would definitely lose to either of these players using only one hand. On Tuesday, just ignore Tuesday. Nobody cares about Tuesday. YouTube doesn't care about Tuesday. Nobody cares about Tuesday. Don't care about Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, we're back to actually good videos. On Thursday, Friday, Bronze League Heroes, where people will endlessly debate what league players actually are and how bad they are, despite the fact that they haven't played for 8 years. Like and subscribe. Saturday, actually good. Sunday, debatable. Check out all those videos and more on youtube.com/LocoTV. And then, if you also have heard of our other overlord, no, not Zerg, Amazon, you can get Prime Gaming, where you can subscribe to you're the streamer of your choice on Twitch every month for free. And every single moment you don't subscribe to twitch.tv/wintergaming, you're losing money for me. So subscribe with Prime Gaming, because remember, at Amazon Prime, we know where you live. Thank you guys for sticking around. We're moving into the latter half, well, I don't know about half, but it's all tied up. We're down to a best of 3, effectively, between the 2 probably best players in the world, and the 2 best in Dreamhack Masters Summer 2021. After a month, in my opinion, having 3 weeks before your between your regional qualifier and the main tournament, like the finals playoffs bracket, feels like a bit much. But it really creates so much suspense that I did potentially forget. There's so much great StarCraft going on. Like TSL, ESL opens every week. ESL is also Dreamhack, fun fact, so thank you to ESL. There's just so much great StarCraft that it is hard to keep up. But at the end of the day, I hope to bring you and show you and narrate, even if it is by that auto-generated captions. Good games for the fans. So, and I think so far, these 2 have brought it. Every game has been a good game, one way or another. Even, like, Reynor, he might have forgot his upgrades, but Baneling drop, come on, and Maru showing the sharpest Marine tank timing I've seen in a bit. And then Maru coming out, battle cruisers. And not like battle cruisers with an S. Okay, for style. And for superiority. Because Maru knows, go big or go home. See what Reynor does to bring it back. He had a great first couple of games. But he's gotten a little off track. He's leaned a little too hard. In fact, historically, I've thought of Reynor as he struggled against Meg. His nemesis, who is back now, by the way, I'm very excited. Gumiho. There were several games a few years ago before Reynor really, like, came into his own. Well, Reynor's now the world champion, so I would say that is pretty good. But a couple years back, whenever he would face Gumiho and Gumiho would go mech, Reynor would look a little lost. A lot of players, like, it's pretty rare to face it now. Is it a coincidence that Gumiho comes back and Maru plays his first mech game against Zerg in the last, like, several months, at least from what I've seen? Is it? I would like to know. I would like an actual answer. Maybe? I don't know. But the way Maru gives interviews, it's hard to get much information from that. Yes, I think my opponent's pretty good. I hope I do well. Show good games. Thank you to these people for helping me practice. Thank you for cheering for me. Maru, what did you think about that mech game on Blackburn? Did Gumiho have any inspiration? Did you practice with him? He's like, I like to practice. I practiced a lot, so I'm really glad I did well. Okay, thank you, Maru. Thank you! What about that mech game on 2000 Atmospheres? Fusion Core! It's a fake! It's a fake! That's not... Yeah. He faked the cloak. Yes, build 1 spore to stop my cloaked banshee, says Maru. That is what you need to defend against. And he builds the Viking just to pretend to spend... mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Clever girl. Maru whipping out the battle cruiser for not 1 but 2 games. Now the question will be on a less defensible map. And I'd say this map, like, even taking your 3rd is a bit of an issue. Let alone the 4th. It's way more open than Blackburn, especially once you lock Blackburn down. With, like, siege tanks and just the existence of battle cruisers. So, is this a battle cruisers build or a battle cruiser opener? Place your bets. I think I'd lean towards the opener on this one, mixing it up a bit. And I shouldn't have committed so quickly. I could have waited 10 seconds and seen 2 more factories in production and figured it out for myself. But I didn't, did I? All right, that's why you're here. I make bold statements that are eventually and very quickly are proven to be inaccurate, but bold nonetheless. Here comes the battlecruiser, blunking it on top of the Queens, targeting the one with full energy. Meanwhile, the Hellions eviscerating the mineral line, turning it into charcoal. The Lings as well. What, are you going to stop the Hellions? Getting on top, the Queen burned alive from below and from above. Well, maybe like an even plane. Meanwhile, there's not even that many Lings left over either. 11 drones go down. The first volley, the first strike out of Maru. The capital ship jump. Completely knocking Reynor off guard. Losing a dozen drones, several Queens, 11 drones, 19 Lings, 3 Queens, for 2 Hellions and a Reaper. Now, Reynor, not slipping on his injects, not slipping on his macro. He still has a lot of drones, but you got to think of it a resource that a lot of even Zerg players don't really think about as a resource is larva. That larva is kind of like having barracks or gateways. If you don't have the larva when you need it, you don't have the production, you don't have the ability to build an army. You're kind of relying on the Queens, and most of the time the Queens are great. But this is a lot. This is a lot to put on the Queen's hefty shoulders. I mean, robust. I'm sorry, that's the word we're using now. I apologize. Robust shoulders. They're handling it. The Lings are body blocking. The Hellions are making... There's still enough Hellions to be a real danger to the drones. The Queens are holding the line. Oh, no! But speaking of lines, a devastating line of fire. Oh, like Reynor almost boxed out the Hellions and kept the drones alive right up until he didn't. 14. 25 in total, and suddenly Reynor is down 7 workers. Yamato Valley. He's got to jump. Down goes a battlecruiser, biting off just a little bit more than he could chew. And that is a nice consolation prize for Reynor, but a consolation prize indeed. A chew toy deep engineering bay out in front from Maru. A scan will spot double upgrades, and it will spot the Spire upgrading. This time it's Corruptors. He's acknowledged their need. But the Hellions, that's so much damage. Oh my god. No, make it stop. I mean, like, I love it, but also make it stop. Like, I'm 1/3 Terran and 1/3 Zerg myself, okay? Like, I'm both sides of this story. It's like sneezing, okay? You're glad you did, but it's a painful process. But imagine it was also filled with flames, and that would be even more painful, but at least we'll stop. We'll stop there. And we won't go any further. Well, we'll quit when we're not too far behind. Cyclone's moving out. Magfield Accelerator with that double damage to armored. So things like Corruptors, buildings, roaches, Queens, not armored units. Important to note. Neither are Ravagers, interestingly. But still, like, the Cyclones do a lot of damage with the lockdown. Without the double, they do 400 if you let them go. Hellbat, you got a big job, huh? Tackles it boldly. Blue Flame not quite done. Oh. Back off. The battle cruiser looking for now. He's still building battle cruisers. 3 is usually the number. 3 is the number where Queens are no longer capable of contesting you. Corruptors, though, moving to intercept, or at least predicting a need to intercept. I'm not sure if he saw him, but he's going to have to jump those BCs almost immediately. He does. Doesn't waste any time on a Yamato. Gets out. So, it's a careful balance here, because Corruptors are not a unit you want to have. You want to have exactly enough Corruptors. You want to have enough to shut down the Battlecruisers and not one Corruptor more. Because they're have only incredibly marginal usefulness unless you're already winning the ground war. And if you have too many Corruptors, you're going to have a tough time winning the ground war as well. Just too much supply. Corruptors showing how useful they are against Blue Flame Hellions. They can make you think like you have units to defend against Blue Flame Hellions and then quickly realize you don't. That's their value there. Meanwhile, Maru. Yeah, the Corruptors are like, I want to do something! They're just going to go for the Battlecruisers at home, but the home defense, Yamato Valley, knocks a couple out. Serious mech push here. +1/+1, closing in on +2 across the board, both sides. Reynor losing what could be considered the alternative 4th, really. Queen stepping forward. The tank's gonna have something to say about that. No, maybe not the time for creep spread. What, Terran? This is... Maru is outmaneuvering a Zerg with mech. Oh no. Reynor just... He's not handling it. The drone kills, the unit composition is better, but the economy was worse. That's the difference here. This is Reynor scrambling with the right units, as opposed to flailing with the wrong ones. He cleans up an army. Like, there you go. Ravager Ling cleans up one army. It was a little pricey. Reynor's only lost 900 gas this game. He lost way more minerals, but... Oh! He gets one before the jump. The Corruptor's knocking out a Battlecruiser with the +1. Reynor's starting to stabilize. Like, getting that BC and winning the fight against that much mech takes a while to rebuild. It's not Marines. Those factories pumping out units, but it is a lot of, like... Now we're talking about production speed. The best players get to worry about this. This is something like only the creme de la creme, if you would. We're not worried so much about if you're building enough. We're worried about how many you can put on the field and how quickly they get into position. Literally, how long does it take to build 8 siege tanks? Because we're losing units left, right, and center. Though center mostly untouched for now. Cyclones, Hellions, Queens going down. This push, isolating and killing a very bold hatchery out of Reynor. Zergling's gonna try to help defend, but Blue Flame Hellions just melting them. It looks like just enough roaches to work through, but more Blue Flame Hellions. Banelings crashing in. 5 drones go down. Reynor back down to 70. Vipers are on the way to try to make this a little less painful, each of these fights. And the tank spread is just... +3/+3 attack. Just attack, attack, attack for Reynor. +3 melee, +3 ranged. He's got adrenal glands on the way. He's got +2 air attack. Like, his units are gonna die. If we fight, they're gonna die. Mech units hit so hard, okay? Having a little bit of armor isn't gonna save the day. So Reynor is all offense and I mean, defense is offense right now. Oh, the hatchery spreads the clones! And he gets the hatch, but we do have to ask the classic question on this one. With the blinding clouds, the Ravager flank, and the Cyclones being cleaned up, at what coordinates? Meanwhile, some Hellbats moving in. Maru working what he can. Yamato cannons. He has to have spotted the Corruptors there. The rest of the units jumps away preemptively. 3-3 finishing. Reynor struggling, like Maru's keeping him so far back. You would think Reynor, who's maxed out with 80 drones and +3, would be able to get something done on the other side of the map. The thing is, with planetaries, with turrets, with just these units on the field, you need a sizable, consolidated army to actually attack a base. The same is not true for Maru. Maru, since there are no lurkers, there's not a ton of static defense. It's just more lair and hatch tech units. Maru only needs a handful of units to drag back an inordinate amount of supply. He might not be able to win the fight, but the amount of time he's buying. Finally, we got something here. Reynor gonna just bite the bullet and the missiles of the turrets to fight outright. He's gonna hit the turret. Well, this is an interesting exchange. The corruptors! Corruptor value! It's okay, it's working. Oh, well. Okay, well. Huh. There go the queens. Ooh. So we learned how much DPS the corruptors can do versus repair. Reynor still scrambling. He's lost 47 drones. Maru has lost 0 SCVs, which is not very many. The battle crew still slipping and sliding along. Every time. This is incredibly annoying for Reynor. I think if he could find the money somewhere, and I don't know where you'd find it. Neural Parasite would be an option, possibly an answer. So Reynor is committing most of his army to killing this base. He's fed up. He's had enough. He might be able to finish off the battlecruisers as well. But that does open up his only 4th to attack. Maru has not a 4th but a 5th on the other side of the map. Banelings crashing through. Reynor trying to go through a tank line. Does not get very far, but for the first time kills SCVs, and Maru wasn't really pressing the issue very quickly on the other side. Oh god. The tank spread. You're not gonna fight, you're not gonna win that. Zerglings? He's trying to use the tanks to do damage. The Zerglings aren't for damage. They're for the tanks to do damage. Reynor finally got an attack together. But... oh, that wasn't the blinding cloud we were looking for. It's falling apart. Reynor agrees. Maru takes 3 in a row. Wow. Two Mac games. Reynor does not have the answer. That's what it seems. A little closer that time, but just too much damage dealt too early. And suddenly... Maru Mech is back on the menu. I don't think it's a question now. I don't know where it ever went. I know Reynor in particular is vulnerable to this style, but... anyways, Jimmy, no ads. Okay, yes. Uh-huh. And here we go.
Hello there.
A pull first from Reynor. Now, finally, on match point, Maru breaks out 2 SCVs on the smallest rush distance map, Beckett Industries. Let's see, Maru. The Overlord is headed... oh, come on. Reynor, you gotta, you gotta be diligent. Oh, okay. He went pool first. Reynor should have all the tools. He's looking. He knows. He knows. He's been... He tries to hide the OV, but I'm pretty sure the SCVs... Well, Maru isn't moving his SCVs. If he thought he got spotted... So air units have one more vision range than ground units. But if he thought he got spotted, I think he would have sent it immediately. Either way, it doesn't matter now, as the first Marines are coming out. Just starting with a pretty safe bunker. He doesn't have enough for another one quite yet. He wants to keep building Marines, obviously. The Zerglings are out. And with the Zerglings and drones here, this looks like the makings of a very strong hold from Reynor. As long as no bunkers, like Maru a little bit further back this time. Reynor trying to go for the drone drill, looking for the wrap around. The drone strike is good. And with it, Maru's attack is shut down almost before it starts. Best case scenario. One drone lost, all Marines and SCVs killed, no bunkers online. Reinforcing Marines shut down, and without that many Zerglings built. Reynor is in a great position. Maru being Maru, of course, this is not the end. And this is there's the risk of Maru building up enough Marines to be a threat still, if Reynor doesn't respect it. But make no mistake, this is not... Sometimes you get kind of a weird trade-off, like a ton of mining time lost, or losing a few drones, or making a huge amount of lings. No, this is about as well as it could possibly go for Reynor. The barracks will... One will be heading home, one will be heading to scout. And Maru is left with a very limited set of options. Killing an Overlord is a nice consolation. That is not bad in terms of things here. Like, you can't ask for much more than that. Barracks, did you know a barracks flies faster than a non-speed Overlord? Fun fact. So this is just enough Marines to potentially threaten the third. He won't commit to it, I don't think. That one Hellion definitely complicates things. Ah, he's so close! He's not going to get another chance. The Queens will save the day. Oh my god. You know what? I don't... At this point... It's gonna be a Hellbat build. And... this is a bit of a different scenario. But... Another OV goes down. That's not insignificant. You really don't have options here. The Hellbats are the best, or at least good, of a really bad set of options. All the SCVs, it's not like Maru has SCVs to burn here. Nope, there's no escaping. He's gonna do the push. There's enough Queens already that they're a real threat to this. And they're using the Speedula, but so are the Hellbats, awkwardly. Going for the medevac, which is what keeps these from being chipped down so easily. He's gonna try to run back through the Queen Micro. Oh, one gets caught. But here... So the Hellbats are annoying, and they will kill some in the way of lings. Maybe a Queen or two. Reynor has 51 drones. It would be an acceptable time to GG. But Maru did stabilize with reinforcements back at home. I'm just throwing that out there. He doesn't know exactly how many drones Reynor has. He knows he doesn't have a lair yet. But, like... Ugh. Got 5 queens. Not nothing. He's gonna see the lair on the way. Question is how Reynor wants to close it out. I think at this point, the best thing you can do is just pretend like it's a normal game and hope Reynor makes a mistake. It's now in Raynor's hands. There's no way, there just aren't the units to drag this back for Maru. Reynor has to overcommit to an attack, which he's done in this series. And then that's where Maru maybe finds an opportunity. Barring that, you have 1-1 stim combat shields, medevac tank push. Assuming Reynor does nothing before that point. Thing is, the economic deficit is substantial, especially for this early on. Maru gonna give it a shot. He's 1 game away from bringing it home. I think he's about to pass $1 million won, so that'll, well, I mean, he gets a prize for second, but I'm not sure exactly what it is. Spire, like, Maru is going for everything he can, and Reynor is going for everything he should. Spire, Baneling speed, 1-1. And 75 drones. Okay. Units now. Units and smash. That should be the plan. I think that is the plan. And Maru is going to be hard-pressed to do anything about it. Overlord speed on the way. Couple cloak banshees trying to slip out. Creep spread. Doesn't take much to get across Beckett Industries. I've never seen this. Like, nobody remembers you can do this. Maru is walling, and by nobody I mean like a very limited few, but you can build in the speed zones. You don't build any faster. But the SUVs do move around faster. I guess maybe that has a negligible effect on how fast Terrans build. I don't think so, because they're still building while they move. But I've never seen someone actually wall that. Oh my, Maru. Even despite being in such a deficit, just teaching us something new. I'd be like, have you missed every pro game on this match? Honestly, they rarely get very far. I'm back in Industries. It looks so weird. Reynor getting 2-2. He's got 86 drones. He's 175 supply. Maru acquitting himself as well as he can. He's just sitting here like, come and hit me. Come on. And if Reynor missteps, if he loses half a dozen mutas, or all his banelings go the wrong angle, then you know what? Maybe Maru has a shot. But that's a big ask. There's nothing really in the main to defend. Maru's just trying to box out here. It's a lot of Zerglings. 84 Zerglings on the map. Reynor is now maxed. Infestation pit on the way. Just the rest of the bases. Maru preparing for the siege. Couple kills from a Cloak Banshee that dragged the mutas, like taking the mutas away for a non-zero amount of seconds. Yeah, Maru not even trying to like send a medevac, no. He's gonna try to get as close to 200 supply as possible. Good luck. Here comes some more banelings. We're gonna be looking at 40, 45, 50. Turrets targeted, sniped. The engineering bay is in an awkward position as well during all this. Couple medevacs out of the map. He knows where the mutas are, so they're safe enough to pick up and back off. But back in the natural. 1-2, 1-2. Ping-ponging around right now. The engineering bays are a very important part of this. Upgrades. Oh, the depots are gone. The third, crashing through, lifts the orbital. The muta's not a part of it. Oh, maybe get back in the medevac. Get back. Oh, 17 SCVs. Wave 1. Maru gonna take an L. But not enough to knock him out of the game. Hive on the way. Maru building a second armory because pro player reflexes. Or are they? Is that intentional? I don't even know. Like, he just kind of casually built it. Don't worry about it. Yes, there you go. +2, +1 for the Thors. Reynor winding up again. Maru with less supply, but slightly better upgrades. Thor, quite a deterrent. Lings and Banes. Well, another round. Here come the Banelings. There's not that much anti-air. There's not that many Marines. And we're going to match point. Reynor drags it back. He shuts down the 2 racks. Enough of that. And we find ourselves in a game 7 situation. Dreamhack Masters. Summer finals. We've waited months. Like a month. It was like 3 weeks. 3 to 4 weeks. A lot of time to get here. How appropriate. Game 7 is required. Between the Italian Stallion and, of course... What is a nickname for Maru? I don't even... Maru predates nicknames. But, leave a comment. Like, subscribe. Hopefully you've enjoyed my commentary. Hopefully you enjoy more in the future. And hopefully, well, based on the trend, you will enjoy this match. Thank you for watching. Game 7. Romanticide. Hatch first from Reynor. No proxy from Maru. But Reynor not taking any chances. Drone scouting for the racks. Oh my god, it'd be so painful to lose to a proxy on this. He's even checking the high ground. Wow. That would be, like, that is the most committed location above the mineral wall. And you can technically float them down after. Or it could be, you could just mine the minerals with the 2 SCVs. I've seen it occasionally done. There's a couple little mineral walls on this map, 10 mineral walls. So that means 2 trips from SCVs or drones, or 1 mule just kind of sauntering through, which sometimes Terrans remember. Another reason why mules are but a standard and clinical start. Very safe. SCV scout from Maru as well. Confirming no early pool. No any Zergling shenanigans. No proxy hatch. Both sides sending their workers to make sure no funny business is happening. Just very serious Starcraft business. I mean, with tens of thousands of dollars on the line in 1 game. So both of these players have 100. Oh, Maru gets a drone. No, not 2. That'd be devastating. Emotionally and physically. Like, getting 1 drone is already way more than you can ask at this level. Can't believe we got a drone. Not a good start for Reynor. Not a huge deal, but, like, I tell you, as the Zerg in that scenario, it's not just about the economic loss. It's about, oh my god, he got a drone. I got it. The frustration. Maru with a starport. Not. We're seeing middle of the road right now. Like, driving an Oldsmobile at 10 miles an hour below the speed limit safety here. From both sides. As Reynor poking in with his Ovi. Quite early on, but just confirming there's going to be a starport. No sort of 211 shenanigans. Checking the add-ons. Oh, and then we're taking that Oldsmobile. We see an exit, and we decide to just do a U-turn and go back down the one-way street. Because guess what? Fusion! Cool! Maru looking to cruise his way into a victory. He's 2 for 2 with the battlecruisers. Reynor, like, you can't blame him. Reynor is not handling the mech. He's just not. On 2,000 atmospheres, if he hadn't lost 20-something drones to Hellions, you know, maybe he had the answer. But he did. He did lose 20 drones to Hellions. And if that is a trend that continues, Reynor is not willing to go. He's either not willing or doesn't feel like he's able to go for the unit composition, the cost efficiency that you'll see out of some players. Like, I'm really surprised that against mech, it feels like Reynor is going for like a super anti-bio composition. Like, you can make Mutiling Bane work if you have the economy against anything. Like, it's just a matter of how much you're willing to lose. Whereas against a mech army, you can't have less workers, less gas, and also expect to trade well against siege tanks, cyclones, literally, battlecruisers are essentially impossible to kill until you get, well, almost the entire game. But guess what? Surprise, surprise. At least he saved some of the drones. Or does he? What are you doing? Why are they still there? Go home. Where is home? It's unclear. The queen struggling. Transfuse gonna keep him intact. 6 drones so far. Another queen pops out. Battlecruiser retreats. 7 drone kills so far. Trying to target more queens. Transfuse saves the day. Knitting crew back together. Looking for more drone kills. Trying to target. Battlecruiser not jumping. It jumped in. It can't jump out. The bathtub crashes to the ground. And Reynor, what looked to be a hectic defense, turned into a resounding victory. He knocks down the battlecruiser. His drone losses were relatively minimal. Most of the queens are still intact. That's a win for Reynor. He's done it. Maru gonna pretend like nothing happened. He's gonna do the same build that he did before. Wait, yes, he is. It just looks different because now we're staring at his base instead of a battlecruiser running queens around the map. Maru confidently, with great flair, jumped into the fight, ready to claim his victory. And Reynor slapped him back down, brought him to Earth. And that's not where battlecruisers thrive. And Reynor has seen this build now, not once, not twice. Okay, twice. This is the 3rd time, so it really kind of depends. He just needs to stop the Hellions from doing critical damage. Maru's trading a lot of Hellions. That is 16 Hellions for 14 drones. That's not enough. That's not, like, it's not nothing. And Reynor doesn't have the tech right now, but well, mules are quite a thing. But at some point, you throw away too many Hellions and you can never take a 4th. A 3rd base, you can hold. On Romanticide, Maru will be able to hold his 3rd against everything but an overwhelming army, which Reynor can't quite afford yet. But a 4th base is where things start to break down. Watch out, watch out, watch out! That's a bold creep tumor. You know, what did we say about creep tumors in the Mineral Line? How many times do we have to go over this? Oh my god. I mean, that extra little bit, I guess, but maybe after the fight. This battlecruiser survives, but Reynor's at 96 drones. 96! Which is approaching the year he was born. In case you guys hadn't felt old enough yet this series, it's been a little bit. Don't worry, he's gonna get there. I'm sure he'll slap on a few more. +1 ranged attack. So Reynor is going to be doing the swarm style, the attrition mode that he did on 2,000 atmospheres. But this time he has the economy. This time he has his tech. This time he can challenge the 4th. It's going to be Maru who is obligated to defend. Maru who should be on the back foot, and Maru who is scrambling to defend multiple angles. So Reynor's initiative, he's got 101 drones. That's closer, yeah. And you got 101 drones. Let's finish out this supply. Hive on the way. And then, oh wait, there's no other anti-air. Oh, the turrets aren't even done. He's probably expecting there to be cyclones. Unfortunately, there were no cyclones in this fight. Now, there will be now. Maru's like, oh shit, I don't have any cyclones. Look, he gets mag field accelerator. Well, good thing he didn't attack. But the turrets come up and are enough of a deterrent. The double scan to get a view of the whole tech tree. We're settling in. Game 7 will be the in a high economy and high action series. Game 7 will be the highest economy game of them yet. Romanticide has plenty of bases to work with. It's relatively difficult to break a lot of entrenched positions. There's a lot of high ground and wrap-around action you see Reynor doing here. This map has had some of the longest games in recent StarCraft 2 history, so how fitting, eh? Here comes Reynor, trying to break the 3rd, which is less entrenched, less defenses. Only a handful of tanks, no wall even, besides the depot maze that is likely better than just having a straight-up wall to bash through. The corrosive biles, the fadeaways, taking a lot of damage, but drawing the battlecruisers out of position. Another round out of Reynor. Fighting a rearguard action with the Ravagers. Magfield Accelerator finishing up. Going to be even more of a threat to the Corruptors and Roaches momentarily. Hive is complete. Spire is done. Maru continually scanning. He's got orbitals. He's got money. He's trying to figure out, I'd imagine, one, are we going to see things like lurkers on the ground? Maybe infestors are also an option. Broodlords are on the table, but no. Reynor wants more units, not better units. It's a matter of style. And a matter of... Brenda! What are we doing? We're attacking the tanks, obviously. God, what do you think you're doing? A very bold move will drag back some units, but not nearly enough to stop a mineral line from being roasted. A command center intercepted, but the Ravagers and Banelings rolling through the front lines. Tanks mostly taken out. A bit of a back and forth fight. The Hellbats will eliminate the rich Vespine base out of Reynor, but he's breaking through towards the main. A costly battle. He's killed some SCVs. Looks like he'll get a command center as well. A trade of bases, if you would, but in the more literal sense. Adrenal Glands is on the way. +2 attack is done for ranged and melee. But Reynor, where's the +3? Come on. Go. Nope. And yes, thank you. All right. He's like, Carapace, what do I look like? You think these units are gonna live? Reynor has lost 191, and that is just the beginning. Those are rookie numbers. Maru, the armor upgrades on the Cyclones, Lings need support. Lings don't cut it on their own. That is the strength of mech here. Now that he has the mech, the core of the mech composition, these units are much harder to just pick off than Marines and even to an extent Widow Mines. No, I wouldn't be surprised to see some more Widow Mines added in. Like, a few tanks and a few cyclones are a serious effort to dislodge. Mainling's crashing through another round. Tank line gone. Secondary tank line will be relied upon, but the Baneling's doing a lot of damage. Battlecruisers jumping to the other side simultaneously. Tanks down to 1, onto the low ground, driving him back to his 4th. Tank on the high ground is the only thing to defend the natural. Battlecruisers looking to trade. Corruptors retreating as well away from the fight. Nothing to do here. Finding another opportunity. Maru holds on to his natural and counterattacks into one of Reynor's bases, but not a key one. Is there Yamato? Yamato on the board. Targeting the hatchery. He wants to jump out afterwards. Individually, another Yamato cannon is enough. One battlecruiser falls for the hatch. Reynor, another round. They go back to their corners. Maru bleeding right now, and Reynor, he's a little bruised. He lost some drones. That wasn't a super key base, and he has the entire top right side. You know, of all the units you could have to fight Hellions, that was the only one that wasn't gonna win that fight. Okay, Corruptors. Yes, let's keep continuing on how useless Corruptors are, except for discouraging battlecruisers from being in a certain area. Hellions coming in for another round. Maru has opted for the left side as Reynor keeps hammering on the top right. Another round. Reynor. More units. How many now? 359. Almost doubling that number from a few minutes ago. Oh my god, that's a lot of tanks. That is too many tanks. No. Turn... those are +3 tanks. Is that too many tanks, Maru? I don't think so. You're not maxed. Yeah, go home. Get some Vipers. Grow up. The tech tree. And I would still like to see some potential infestors, but the Hellions slip in as the battlecruisers draw attention away. This is where the damage is dealt. 10 drones. Immediately rebuilt. Cyclones looking to intercept the Corruptors. A lot of... In mech versus this composition, there's a lot harder counters than in bio, like, versus, I guess, normal bio Terran. As everything can kind of counter everything. Here, like, Blue Flame Hellions, the Zerglings just spontaneously combust. Especially Hellbats, but even the Hellions. They just don't do anything. It's literally one shot, and the Zerglings go up in flames. The tanks, just devastating in any sort of number, unless they're unsieged or clumped up. He yanks in a couple tanks, gets all he can, knocks out a few. The Cyclones doing their best not great. Couple tanks on the back line, but Reynor gets some great pickoffs there. And he draws the units lost and minerals and gas lost a little closer to even. Thing is, Maru's battlecruisers, his strike team. I'm reluctant to call it a fleet, because 3 battlecruisers is more like the naval terms. It's a wing of battlecruisers. But they're also kind of a squadron. Triumvirate. There you go. 3 battlecruisers specifically is a triumvirate of battlecruisers. We made it. Since there must always be 3, except when there are more and they get lost to Corruptors. But it looks like 3 is the number Maru wants. Another attack. Vipers. Looking for... What are you going to do once you get them? Have we thought that far ahead, Reynor? He yanks the battlecruiser forward so it can hit the Ravagers better. The tank line, pretty devastating. Reynor keeps working this angle, but the minerals are mining out. He's going to get another command center. He still has the top right, but where is the... He's getting +1 Carapace in the ultimate show of defeat. How do you win the game, though? He keeps trying to break into the production, but it feels like this +3/+3 mech. Maru is no longer committing things like tanks, out on the map. His battlecruiser's only going out with tactical jump on cooldown. So without infestors, how do you actually stop this? Like, how do you force the issue and force Maru into a fight and potentially a scenario where he can lose? That's a lot of cyclones were spent here. Well, some of them are going to get a hatch. Maru trying to deny Reynor's mining, but at a costly price. He's now lost more gas. Still a lot less minerals. Reynor up to 600 units lost. There's no greater spire. Like, it feels intentional. Like, Brood Lords might not be amazing, but they could force the issue. Here come the Vipers, a little late to the party. Maru jumps away, abandoning the tanks. A planetary coming up, but likely will not finish. Reynor breaking through the defenses. He might not need Broodlords as it stands. Down to the planetary. More tanks sieging up. Banelings crashing through. No building armor means the planetary's gone. Maru down to 135 supply. Unfortunately, Reynor didn't focus his efforts on the other one either. Well, on the other planetary in the bottom left. Which means it did actually survive throughout all that. But another round is coming up. Reynor is hurting for minerals, as bases have been continually taken out. It's a bit of an awkward scenario. Tactical jump is on cooldown, and the triumvirate is now... Oh, I should have had this on hand. Is now but two. The dynamic duo, Robin Hood and Batman, and they both think they're Robin. Did I say Robin Hood? That's a new... check out my new visual novel. All right, it's not safe for work or anyone. A lot of tanks getting yanked into the Ravagers. Ravagers working their way through. Battlecruisers trying to clean it up. 120 supply. Maru, he still has the duo of battlecruisers. Those two cruisers are keeping Maru from being run over. But Reynor's strat, this is the difference between always being on the back foot, always playing catch-up, and able to play this 300 supply Zerg. Well, he's kind of running lower on the minerals, but able to replenish your army and go for another, even if it costs a few more minerals and a little more gas. The idea is you win the game before the map is mined out. You batter them into submission. And honestly, building armor might be a good investment here. A while back for Maru. Surprising he doesn't have it yet. Just to eat some more Banes. Blinding Cloud, good. Battlecruisers jump out of the fray. Abandoned ship! Abandoned ship! Banelings are crashing through the planetary. Oh, the corrosive bow should be able to finish it off. He's getting some... The planetary holds. The battlecruisers actually jumped into Reynor's mineral line. He didn't kill the planetary. He's looking for another round. These Hellions are going to go down, but so many drones are dying. Reynor knocked down to 50. A base... Well, some of the surviving Hellions want to mine from this. More tanks going to fall. Cyclones intercepted. Battlecruisers finally knocked out of the sky, but at a heavy price. This battlecruiser has 39 kills. Looking for a Viper. Technically had a Yamato. Down go the cruisers. Maru down 100 supply. Most of his supply right now is in SCVs. What does he have left? He has a single-digit number of Hellions and Cyclones. Reynor's coming to claim his victory. He's had enough. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't clean. But it was a brutal display of quantity over quality. But at the end of the day, Reynor slams Maru into the deck with his battlecruisers. I don't know if I'd call that a solution, but it's effective enough. Reynor will be your Dreamhack Summer Champion, capping off the biggest event since his victory at Katowice. And that makes him, I think right now, continuing to be the best player in Starcraft 2. The best Zerg, of course. And the man to beat. And he is beatable. But not enough. Some great games. Every game was great. Even though, obviously, there were weaknesses and strengths from both of them. Not the series I expected to see. Significantly more battlecruisers than I expected to see. A surprise, but a welcome one, I think. You think so as well. Like, subscribe, ring the bell. What did you think about the battlecruisers of Maru? Help, hurt? Either way. Thank you to Dreamhack, ESL, the great players, and you for watching. Check out some more videos. They probably won't be as exciting, but hopefully they're close. Good luck. Have fun. Stay chill.